What's up, pirates? It's your homeboy GM with One Piece chapter 924. Yes, there is this streak of light in front of the camera. It's one of my lamps. I tried to move it in a way so we couldn't see that streak of light, but unfortunately, I've tried everything. It's there to stay, so please deal with it. And also, before I start this review, let me just remind you that it is very important to encourage the manga industry by purchasing the official releases because a lot of people put their hard work to make those happen. You can find them online at your local bookstore, or better yet, you can even download legally the digital versions. They are even cheaper. And also, I am doing a manga project called Heart of Wildfire. Right now, me and my team are amassing funds to produce the first chapter. The link is just down below and in the description. Please check it out. Share it with your friends. Donate if you can. That is highly appreciated. Thank you for the support in advance. By the way, if I happen to be a little bit quieter than usual, it's because my niece is just next door and she's resting and I don't want to wake her up. So that's why this review might be, pretty dull, quiet. So that's why, all right? So bear with me on this. The ending of this chapter was a given. We knew at some point Luffy and Kid would meet. And what better place than in jail? And if you think about it, I think that is the only way that it should happen. Because if Luffy would have been outside, I'm not saying that the plan would have failed, but I think that considering Luffy's character, I think he's the type of guy that he's meant to stir your shit up. He's meant to to rattle the cage when no one will do this rattling. All right, and considering that Kid is pretty much about the same type of character, the type of character that really shake things up, that is very bold and dangerous depending who is fighting him. So I think that probably the two most troublemaker among the worst generation. I think that it was meant for these two to be at least next to each other so that when the battle against Kaido is gonna start, these two can be side by side and allies to work up with a plan to escape and defeat Kaido. Seastone, we discovered that this material comes from Wano. So my question is, we know that Smoker has a weapon in which the tip is composed of Seastone. So I'm not gonna start saying that Smoker went to Wano, but it could be a possibility. Second of all, it's no surprise that the perhaps the world government tried to go to Wano to open up the borders, but they probably failed. It wasn't mentioned, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried because let's face it, samurais are powerful warriors, and the world government would love to have samurais among their ranks, but that's not the case. So, opening the borders, what would that mean for the world? Well, many things, but of course, the world government would love, to take advantage of the situation. But giving away Seastone, that could be a game changer, like for all Devil users. Hopefully, I hope that this material stays inside Wano because otherwise, it's gonna be just a pain and almost unfair to everybody that has Devil powers. Lord Oden had Conqueror Haki. We saw that Luffy, despite being unconscious, was able to unleash his Conqueror Haki. And that was pretty dope. Even though he was KO'd, that was dope. And we saw Boy Ashura, you know, and AKA, by the way, Shutenmaru. So it's obvious Boy Ashura, Shutenmaru, same person. We knew that, but it's confirmed now. But anyways, he saw that from his perspective, this was a um, a jutsu. So yeah, Lord Odin, he had Conqueror's Haki, with no surprise if you think about it. And let's just remind ourselves that this guy voyaged with Gold Roger. So it's no surprise that um, Lord Odin had Conqueror's Haki. Kaido said something very interesting regarding that. There are too many conquerors in among the sea. Not surprising, actually, for him to mention that. And in his in his behavior, he looks like the type of warrior that has some moral values. So the fact that he said that there are too many conquerors among the seas, uh, it makes you think. Who else has that kind of ability? We know that probably the top brass among the pirates has it. Well, Luffy, obviously, Riley, um, probably definitely, I would say, definitely every Yonkus, that's for sure. It would be interesting to explore among the powerful pirates out there, or warriors, whether they are Marines or pirates, who has Conqueror's Haki, because if you think about it, I can only count on my fingers the people that has Conqueror Haki, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people has it as well. But hopefully, I hope this ability remains, in terms of numbers, very few. So, Nami and the others, they survive, thanks to Shino, who has the ability called Juku Juku Jutsu, which is the Juku Juku fruit, I'm guessing, and it is the power to rot things, everything that she touches, I'm guessing. This ability, very useful. I mean, we saw that they dig a hole into the ground and they were able to escape the destruction that Kaido rained on them. But other than that, look, if she could touch anybody else, like for example, I don't know, let's say she manages to touch Kaido and decides to rot him until death follows. Game over. But knowing Oda, he wouldn't make things that simple. So I'm guessing that it's gonna be more complicated than that. Otama is alive as well. She has been saved by Inuarashi, and this one is really angry at Kaido for raising her hand against such a young child. So the more you see Kaido, he looks the type of warrior that is ruthless, but at the same time noble in a sort of way. But nevertheless, harming a child in like this is unforgivable, and we know that this is like it's gonna go down when this great battle is gonna explode. So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. But we know that the Minks are there with Inuarashi, and look, I can't wait to see this battle finally start. And we saw that the news of Luffy Taro being captured. Usopp, Robin, and Frankie, they did the most funny faces that I've seen in the entire series. That was so not only very funny, but for Robin, it was so out of character. Like she really joined the crew 100% because like for Robin to make such funny faces, that's A1, man. A1 to the bone. We saw at the end of the chapter that last panel, Wano arc part one completed or finished. But anyways, so part one is over. I'm not gonna say it's sooner than I expected, but I'm not gonna say it is later. It is later than I expected. I feel like part one has been completed in a very accurate pace. Like I was expecting that, and considering that we are touching 2019 pretty much soon, um, I have a feeling that for the next few chapters, we're probably gonna touch something else other than Wano. We could go back to Wano immediately, but I feel like for the rest of 2018, I wouldn't be surprised if Oda decides to go back to the Reverie Arc, to see what's going on, what has been discussed, or pretty much anything else. But focusing on the Reverie Arc, I wouldn't be surprised if that would happen, because let's face it, um, the plan to attack Kaido will only start in 2 weeks. I mean, in their timeline. So, could be possible that in the meantime they might focus on something else and start the new year, with Wano Part 2. So, anyways, I think it was a great chapter. Again, the way it ended, I think it was very precise, very, it's a key moment. Like, I feel like something else is gonna happen before we return to Wano. So, tell me your thoughts about this chapter. Comment, rate, subscribe, share this video. Much appreciated. And pirates, next week One Piece is on break, so I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. So, in the meantime, please do me a favor, for your homeboy. Take care of yourselves. See ya.